All right, peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Fake Woke Podcast. This is your boy BobbyVILN. I'm back with another episode. Episode 32. Passport immunity. Or immunity passports. About a week ago, or a week and a half ago, I forgot. Ticketmaster came out with an article, or mentioned in the article, about restarting live events, bringing back live events, so sporting games and concerts and festivals and stuff of that nature, live events. And this was after Pfizer announced that they have a vaccine that is 90% effective now, 95% effective. So Ticketmaster came out, they announced that they will be bringing back live events, but in order to attend the live events or to purchase tickets to the live events, you must either have a negative COVID test or proof of vaccination, aka immunity passports. And then before that, I remember hearing about immunity passports, so I decided to do a little more searching on immunity passports, and I found more than a couple of things, a couple of articles, I should say, in regards to immunity passports. And in my personal opinion, I think that's where we're going. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to push the whole immunity passport thing and try to force it down our throats. Now, I personally feel like this is against our constitutional rights. But in regards to traveling and especially traveling internationally, if I'm not mistaken, they can actually do that. They can actually push the immunity passports through, and you will have to have proof of vaccination in order to travel abroad. Now, domestically, that is still up for debate. If I'm not mistaken, I personally feel like if it's domestically, that still goes against our constitutional rights. But in the Constitution, it doesn't say anything about being vaccinated for there's nothing in the Constitution that goes against them pushing vaccination for pandemic or plandemic. If I'm not mistaken, if the virus is highly contagious and highly deadly, then they could push for mass vaccination for all citizens. Don't quote me on that. I would have to go back and rewatch a couple of videos that were talking about vaccinations. But it's kind of like damn, regardless of how you look at it, you might have to get that vaccination, because Ticketmaster was hinting towards using certain apps in order to send your vaccination results to, I think it's called Clear Health Organization or some shit like that, and then the other one is IBM. You would send your vaccination results to a third party in order to attend live events, restaurants, so forth and so on. That is just something that they were just throwing out there. Or or they were testing the waters to see how the masses would react. And of course, they went back and they reneged on that. But it's not out of the ordinary for them to push this immunity passport plan. And the reason why I say that is because China is doing it right now. It's more like an immunity certificate or some of the sort, and they using a QR code on their phone as the immunity certificate. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, they actually have like this surveillance technology they have a surveillance technology to where they can actually track people that have contracted the coronavirus in China. So me personally, I feel like the same thing or something similar is coming to America by 2022. In my personal opinion, that's just how I feel. Because like, look at yellow fever. You have to have a vaccination for the yellow fever. You have to have booster shots in order to go to China and Africa. So it's just like, yeah, like what's stopping them from adding this virus to that long list of booster shots and vaccine shots that you will have to have in order to enter these certain countries. You feel me? Especially since COVID is such a widespread virus right now. I see that happening. And since Pfizer and Moderna and then like a couple of other medical organizations have announced that their vaccines are pretty much 90 to 95% effective, what's stopping them from doing that? Matter of fact, if you paid attention to Operation Warp Speed, I keep mentioning Operation Warp Speed, but never doing the video on it. I should. They were talking about how the United States would have over 100 million doses of the vaccine ready by the end of this year or something like that. And then once the vaccine is actually ready and they do receive the 100 million doses of the vaccine, they have the option to buy an additional 500 million doses of the vaccine. So that's damn near like 6 shots per person that resides in the United States. That's some trippy ass shit. That's some trippy ass shit. And the reason why I'm doing this video is it's not necessarily to scare anybody when it comes to the immunity passports. It's more to bring light and to shed light on what is going on. This is not necessarily, this whole push for vaccination is not necessarily for our benefit, nor is it for our health. It is really for Big Pharma to make money off of vaccination. Because they were, from what I've been reading, they were losing a lot of money in regards to medicine. They were losing a lot of money. A lot of medicine was being pulled off the shelves and being deemed as unsafe. So what's the next best thing? Vaccinations. That's why they're pushing vaccinations. And if you look at the stats for global vaccination, the global vaccination market is currently worth $27 billion a year. $27 billion a year. And the World Health Organization has estimated that the vaccine market will hit $100 billion by 2025. Now, if that's not a money bag, I don't know what is. And their plan is already in effect. They already got global leadership pushing for so-called social distancing, the wearing of masks, and just pushing propaganda in media. They've been heavily pushing propaganda in media. Heavily. They got every celebrity behind it. They got every athlete behind it, pushing this COVID narrative, pushing the vaccine narrative. You even had, you even had Lupe Fiasco on live with Rizza Islam talking about everybody should take the vaccination. Everybody should take the vaccine, I mean. Now, if that ain't clear signs of the check clearing, I don't know what to tell you. Because if you listen to Lupe way back when, Lupe was actually kind of anti-government for the most part. Not as far as Mos Def, but he was kind of anti-government, kind of conscious, so to speak. But the narrative is being pushed, the propaganda is being pushed, everything is going according to their plan. People are falling in line for what's going on, falling in line when it comes to these unconstitutional rules that they're pushing. And it's making it easier for them to get away with what they're doing. They're stripping us of our rights right before our eyes, and we're just sitting there saying that it's okay. A lot of people sitting there talking about, well, like I don't go out anyway when it comes to the curfew and this, that, and the third. I don't either. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I go to work, I come home, build my content, present my content to y'all. But that don't mean that I'm just gonna turn a blind eye to these people stripping us of our freedom, damn near, man. And you can't sit there and push that narrative on me, telling me that the vaccine is safe. I don't think none of these vaccines are truly safe. Because if the vaccines were safe, the U.S. would have never started the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. 1980s to be, just to generalize it. What's the point of needing that program if your vaccines are safe? To me, that's telling me that your vaccines aren't 100% safe and you're not sure of your product. You're just trying to get your product off. That's what that tells me. You know? That's what that tells me. And I did my little research on the program, on the compensation program. And last time I checked, they dealt out over $4 billion in compensation money when it comes to these vaccines. And that's not even counting legal issues coming out of the court. So it's just like, damn, like, are your vaccines really safe? I doubt it. I doubt it. Now, it's just my personal opinion, if you're completely terrified of COVID, if you feel like you need to protect the people around you, I personally recommend that if you feel that way, go ahead and take the vaccination. Go ahead, take the vaccination. But to me personally, I'm going to try to prevent from taking that vaccination as much as possible. And if I have to, I already got certain detox herbs in the works that I already ordered. So, I mean, Godspeed to everybody out there. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my Instagram account, YouTube channel, blase blah, whatever. Thank you for tapping into the Fake Woke Podcast. Thank you.